Hi everyone, it's Stephanie and hubby. Moore's from Canada here, and don't do that because you made me look over there.
What?
Stand there.
It's coming out of the door.
Anyways, here's a review of the Dorado Casitas by Charisma Hotels. It's a resort that we've been coming to probably on and off for 10 years, at least 10 times, I'm sure. So it's January, and this resort is actually located in between Puerto Morelos and Playa del Carmen, just outside of Cancun, about half an hour from 20 minutes to half hour, depending on traffic, from the Cancun airport. So I'm just going to give you a bit of a quick review about some of the things that we've noticed. So first of all, kudos to the Cancun airport. For the first time ever on our arrival upon Cancun, we went through customs and immigration, literally flew through. On previous occasions, it's taken us an hour to an hour and a half, standing in line with hundreds of other people who are arriving in on flights at the same time. They were incredibly efficient, and the process was smooth. We flew down with WestJet Vacations out of Calgary, Canada. The flight was a flight, pretty uneventful. After we got through the airport, we were picked up and transported to the Dorado Casitas. So we arrived here on the 10th of January and we were brought down to the Casita check-in. That's actually when things were they took a lot of time. So the Casita check-in was incredibly slow. There were a few other couples that were already being checked in, but within 10 minutes, our room was changed 3 different times. And so it was a little bit of a frustrating experience. So once we did get we were put in the 2500 block of the casitas. So those are the oldest casitas, but they are the most central. So that's one thing that we really do like. The casita rooms are lovely. These ones are starting, hear that bird? They're starting to show their wear and tear, but the advantage is for us, we love staying on the ground floor because I will show you here, you can see. Then we have quick access to the pool bar. We'll sit out there and do a reading, whatever it is. Go play beach volleyball, come back, and of course we can just get into our rooms quite easily to use the facilities if we need to. So that's the real advantage for us of staying in the casitas on the ground floor. One of the reasons why we've always picked the Charisma resorts is because they're called a gourmet all-inclusive. And so not only do we want a nice environment, but we do want really good food. So I'm going to give you a bit of an idea of what's happened in the food space, but I'm just going to review a few other things. If you're beach people, the beach here at this resort isn't what you would classically expect. So a lot of rocks. The past couple of years in this area of Mexico, they've had seaweed problems. It particularly doesn't bother me. I mean, they have no control over that. But if you're looking for a really nice beach, really nice water, you want to go into the Caribbean, Cuba, some of the British Virgin Islands, those areas, because that's not what you're going to find here. If you are coming to Mexico and you're looking for that type of beach, you want to stay in the Cancun hotel zone, where they certainly have a nice beach area, or at a resort, one of the Iberostars secrets. There's an Dorado Maroma and all-inclusive. They're all adult all-inclusive resorts on Maroma Beach, which is considered one of the top 10 most beautiful beaches in the world here in Mexico, and it's lovely. It is absolutely lovely. It's warm, it's easy to walk into, you can walk out for a long distance and really enjoy the water. So if beach is important to you, this isn't the resort for you. You may want to consider, like I said, the Iberostar, the Secrets, or the Dorado Maroma, which are on Maroma Beach. There are a few others that aren't all-inclusives, but that is a really nice, it's an exceptional beach area for sure. So, the beach, let's talk about the entertainment staff. One of the reasons that we love to come down is while we're back in Canada and we're doing our jobs, we quite often lack time to do things that are fun. And something that's really fun to us is playing beach volleyball. So what we did enjoy was actually getting out to play volleyball. This past week, it's been really, there have been some great volleyball games. Some Americans showed up for a wedding, and they were all young and fit and healthy and strong and great volleyball players. So we had some good volleyball. The entertainment staff guides a lot of the events, so they'll come out and they'll start the volleyball, they'll do the swim aerobics, they'll take you on the bike tours, they also arrange the evening entertainment. So a few things. First of all, I think I had some disappointment when we initially got here because there were some young people, some young guests, and quite often the entertainment staff was more interested in fraternizing with them than actually playing volleyball. When we did have a number of people show up to play volleyball, the entertainment staff stayed on the court, not letting the guests actually play, so that was disappointing to see. They have booked the main stage entertainment that the entertainment group does. It's the same stuff that we've been seeing for 10 years, and it's the same stuff you see at every single resort. If I see one more Michael Jackson show, I'm going to scream. However, in the JoJo's bar area, they have a small stage, and they've been bringing in independent artists and musicians. And last night, so the Friday night entertainment was two gentlemen who used to be part of the Four Tenors that used to do a lot of the entertainment in this area, and they're exceptional musicians, so they were playing. The music was outstanding. And then 2 nights ago there was a trio, and she was an excellent singer also. So that stage, that entertainment is getting quite exceptional. The bars in the area, we haven't been to the Bellini bar, but quite frequently we would go up to the Martini bar, which is lacking the stools and lacking a bit of ambiance right now. We went up a couple times, to have the martinis, and I'm not, well, let's just say there's an opportunity for improvement. In the JoJo bars area, that's the busiest bar. It's right by the beach. It's right by the main pool. Those guys hustle, and they're great at getting your drinks in the swing bar area. So those are the 2 main bars that we've been to. And of course the one here where we had a host, Labert was our bartender, and he was actually exceptional. He takes his job very seriously, and he manages the area as if he's the host. I also want to give kudos to Manuel, who's the groundskeeper, and Manuel doesn't speak a lot of English, but he keeps this area exceptional, and every morning he says, "Good morning, how are you?" and a little giggle, and off he goes to do the grounds work. So he's done an exceptional job in this space. So let's talk about restaurants. It's been an interesting experience here as far as food's concerned. Like I said, one of the things that both hubby and I liked about this is that it's considered a gourmet all-inclusive, so you expect the food to be above other all-inclusives that you would go to. And it has been historically. Over the years, we've noticed some changes. They used to have a fondue restaurant. They didn't have that anymore. We've noticed that they've really gone to, I guess, a sense of efficiency, and I would anticipate one of the reasons why they got rid of the fondue restaurant is that it would take 3 hours to have dinner. It's very difficult to have turnover when you've got a large resort. And the resort itself, just so you know, isn't particularly deep, but it is very wide. So they've got shuttles where people can go from the regular hotel part across to the end of the Casitas and back, depending on where they need to go for the restaurants. Or they can walk, which is what we do, because frankly, margaritas have calories. So when we first arrived, and we've been to JoJo's, which is really the beach restaurant, and they serve a variety of seafood. It's always very busy, and one of the things that we noticed was that it wasn't that good. The service wasn't good. It was slow. Quite often you were ignored. And then once you did get service, it was very rushed. We also noticed this with Campai, and in the mornings with Cocktail, which is where the buffet breakfast restaurant up in the main building. Incredibly rushed. But one of the things that was most disappointing was while you would be sitting there waiting for a cup of coffee or some basic service, there would be people that would come in that were clearly well known to the staff. I don't know whether they were good tippers or what the situation was, but literally the entire staff would migrate over to them, and then you'd be left for exceptionally long periods of time. I'm not talking 2 or 3 minutes. I can be patient. I'm talking 10, 20, 30 minutes. And then you were rushed. You were literally, if it was a sit-down restaurant, you were served 4 courses within 30 to 40 minutes and shoved out the doors for turnover. So that to me was an incredibly disappointing experience, in addition to having lesser quality food. So, what did we do? I made a comment. I made a comment on TripAdvisor that I wasn't happy about what I was witnessing. I was disappointed because, like I said, this is a favorite place of ours. And then a conversation was had with the food and beverage assistant director and eventually the manager. So they've been wonderful to deal with. And let me share with you what they've done. So they took it as, I guess, a bit of a personal mission to make sure that we were having an amazing experience. And so when hubby and I started showing up for dinner, we'd be put in the VIP room, we'd have visits from the chef, we'd have the head waiter come in, we'd have a number of attendants, how's your meal? It'd be the wines on us, chef's dinner, sit down, relax. And this has happened every single evening with a visit from the food and beverage manager, and wonderfully gracious, and I understand what they're doing. Here's my thing. Thank you so much for the great food, but because I made a comment, what should be understood is that the service doesn't necessarily, it's not just about us. The service has to go up across the bar, and everybody should feel special because they spend so much money to come here. It's not a cheap resort when you're coming, A, traveling from Canada, but B, all-inclusive, adult-only resorts in Mexico are incredibly pricey. So everybody should be able to expect the same service. If you follow us on Instagram, you will see some of the pictures that I've been posting of the service that we received. So last night, 2 nights ago, we ate in the Italian Casita restaurant. Again, we were in the kitchen, the special chef's room. It was a chef's dinner where we were served a variety of courses and a wine accompaniment. The sommelier attended us with some Mexican wines and some French wines to 4 or 5 course meal, and it was good food. But again, just something that we got to enjoy. The second night, we went to Santa Fe, and we were actually having dinner with some new Scottish friends, and we invited them to come along. And again, we were sent into the VIP room where we had the wine cart, and the chef came out and he said, I'm going to make you a very special dinner. What I'm going to do is make you absolutely everything on the menu and serve it to you family style. And that's exactly what he did for the 4 of us. He made everything on his menu and he served it to us. And I think for me, the biggest thing was our Scottish friends said, this is lovely, but we would never have experienced this if it wasn't for you. It would be really nice to be treated this well. Our money, it cost them a lot of money, obviously, too, to come from Scotland. And that's the point. Everybody deserves that type of service. So off we went. And then last night, we ate in Kampai. So Kampai is their sushi restaurant. And previous years, we've only had mediocre meals. We ate at Kampai the other day. And although the service was incredibly rushed, again, we were in and out in 45 minutes. It was ridiculous. The food was good. Last night, we were shown to the VIP room where the head waiter and then the head of all the waiters and then the food and beverage manager and then everybody came in to greet us, and then the chef came in a number of times. They made us a special sushi dinner, which if you follow us on Instagram, you'll see all the pictures. And that's at Moore's from Canada. And then a number of wonderful dishes. Actually, I ordered the exact same dish that I had the other night, the salmon. And I have to tell you, not only was last night's portion larger, but it was the best salmon, the best dinner that I've had all week. It was beautiful. The presentation was beautiful. And the taste was fantastic. And it wasn't the same dish that I had the other night. I think it was because we were in the VIP room. So, what's that say? Squeaky wheel gets a grease? Or, you can flatter us and treat us wonderfully, and thank you so much. But I want everybody to enjoy good food and to feel special when they're at this resort. So, really, you've got to look at the Instagram pictures. I mean, they made us a special dessert. It was something. I had to see it to believe it. Anyways, tonight is a dinner on the beach. So I can only imagine what that'll be like. It is our last night here. So we've been here for 10 days. I did notice after my conversation about some of the lack of service I was seeing, and I was including the entertainment staff and what I was witnessing, that the supervisors have shown up more frequently to, keep an eye on their staff and to make sure they're doing their jobs appropriately, which is much appreciated. So kudos to, there's a few really outstanding things. The response from the food and beverage team has been exceptional, albeit myopic, focusing just on us. It has been exceptional, and that I appreciate. They heard our concerns and they're doing everything they can to address them. Labert, who is the bartender at the 25 block of the Casitas, has been exceptional, as has Patty and the other attendants. They work that entire beach area in addition to our area, so that's exceptional. And some of the evening entertainment has really been good. So will we be back? I don't know. Hubby and I had a discussion about it. He's ranking it maybe a 3.5 out of 5. When at one time, years ago when we first came here, it was a rock star 5 out of 5. So I'll sit and think about it. I'll update my TripAdvisor accordingly, but I wanted to share with you. If you come here, chances are you're not going to be disappointed. I was nitpicking about a lot of things because of what I've witnessed. But all in all, this is what I have to say. We love Mexico. We love coming to Mexico. The people are kind and gracious. And it's a wonderful opportunity to rest and relax and rejuvenate. So I'm off to have an iceberg martini. An iceberg. The margarita with the beer. And enjoy my last afternoon in Mexico. Take care.